very good at striking too. He's like one of the best in the sport at mixing up shots from the body to the head, because so many fighters, for whatever reason, are headhunters, because you can knock a guy out with one shot. But Jack is so good at mixing shots up to the body and to the head. He just breaks guys down.
With the UFC 315 title clash between Belal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena inching closer, Joe Rogan is amazed at the training camp of Jack Della Maddalena. The welterweight fighter was seen putting the BJJ world champion Craig Jones to sleep in his training session. On the other hand, Belal Muhammad is also looking sharp and not taking this fight lightly. He is confident about his victory in the main event of UFC 315, but he is not underestimating his opponent and compromising his training. He even predicted that he would break the challenger Jack Della Maddalena within the first 3 rounds.
He'll break in 3.
There are a lot of rumors about Belal being a boring fighter. However, Jack Della Maddalena rejected them. He said Belal Muhammad might not be the most exciting fighter, but he's very good at winning. He compared Belal to fighters like Georges St-Pierre, who also got criticized for being boring, even though they were highly successful. Jack explained that once a fighter starts breaking records, the focus shifts from being exciting to just doing whatever it takes to win. He acknowledged that Belal is skilled and knows how to win, but also pointed out that Belal has shown he can be beaten. Jack seems confident the fight is winnable for him.
Yeah, not the most exciting guy, but so he's good at winning, you know. A lot of the people that are good at winning, they're not always the most exciting people. Like GSP, I think he copped a bit back in the day. Like people would say he's a bit boring. And then like once the career's done, then you look back and you go, oh,
it was more that he was exciting, but then once he started having all these records, he just had to win.
Yeah.
So he just started doing anything to win, hey.
So I think he's good at, Belal was good at winning, but yeah, I think he's there. He's shown that he can be beaten. Yeah, so I think it will get him.
On the other hand, Belal Muhammad predicted a striking-focused performance against Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 315. He said he plans to outbox Jack without attempting a single takedown. Belal added that he wants to show what Canelo hands look like and prove to both UFC fighters and fans that he's the best boxer in the welterweight division.
I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna outbox Jack, I'm not gonna shoot one takedown, and I'm gonna show him the meaning of Canelo hands. I'm gonna show the UFC fighters, the fans, that I'm the best boxer in the UFC, the best boxer in the welterweight division. Trust me, you guys want to tune in, don't miss it.
Meanwhile, the UFC legend Georges St-Pierre broke down the matchup between Belal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena, saying Belal has more tools to win. He described Belal as the complete package, skilled in all areas and with an awkward striking style that throws off many opponents. GSP acknowledged that Jack is on a strong winning streak and has momentum, making it an exciting and competitive fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Belal he's the complete package. He's good everywhere, and he's got a very awkward style that throw a lot of people off, especially standing up and striking department. And Jake on the other side, he's on a tear. He's got a good momentum. He's on a winning streak. And it's going to be an interesting fight.
Georges St-Pierre pointed out that Jack Della Maddalena could have the advantage in the striking department. However, he emphasized that this isn't just a boxing match, it's mixed martial arts. GSP believes that's where Belal Muhammad can take advantage, as he has more tools to win. Still, he acknowledged that having more tools doesn't guarantee a win. The outcome will depend on how their styles match up against each other.
On the one side, Jake, I think he could have the advantages in the striking department, but it's not only a kickboxing match, it's mixed martial art, and that's when I believe if I'm Belal Muhammad, that's where you take advantage of it. I think he's got more tools to win, but doesn't mean he's gonna win. So it's all about how they're gonna match their style against each other.
Furthermore, Jack Della Maddalena believes his power and skill will be a factor that Belal Muhammad hasn't dealt with before. He feels he has more precision, accuracy, power, and overall ability. Jack also mentioned that he has more dog in him, referring to his toughness and determination, and emphasized that Belal hasn't fought anyone like him in his career. Jack feels confident that he brings a unique challenge to the fight.
He's fought some good strikers, but do you think your power is like the X factor here that maybe he hasn't dealt with some of these other guys?
Yeah, I think I've got more precision, accuracy, power, the whole lot. I think I've got more dog in me. I think he hasn't fought someone like me. I've fought people like him my whole career. He's never fought someone like me.
Jack Della Maddalena said he does see it as a changing of the guard in the UFC. He acknowledged that while Bo Nickel just become a champion, Bo is older, and Jack represents part of the younger wave of fighters. He believes a lot of new talent is rising, and said he looks forward to winning the belt, defending it against the next generation, and proving that he's the best of his era, and ultimately, the greatest welterweight of all time.
Like if you win, you'll be the youngest of the current UFC champions unless we get some title changes between now and then. You look at the welterweight rankings, definitely one of the younger guys. Do you feel like this is going to be a true indicator? I know Belal just became champ, but he is an older guy of like a changing of the guard.
I think it's a changing of the guard. There's a lot of new guys coming through, and I look forward to get that belt, changing of the guard, and then defending against the next breed and solidifying myself as the best guy in this generation and the best welterweight ever.
Belal Muhammad confidently predicted how his fight with Jack Della Maddalena would go. He said in the second round, Jack's coach will question him for not boxing and suggest he start wrestling. Jack will then shoot for a takedown, but Belal plans to sprawl, laugh, and look at Daniel Cormier while doing the Max Holloway "I'm the best boxer in the UFC" gesture. He expects to land more punches, stuff another takedown, throw Jack off the fence, hit him with a body shot to drop him and tell him to stand back up. Then, Belal said he'll feint a jab to the body, land an overhand, and finish the fight.
Rounds first, how do you see yourself defending your title in Canada?
I see me coming out the first round, implementing my boxing, showing him that I got better hands than him. And then he's going to go into the second round. His coach is going to look at him like, bro, I thought you were a boxer. Then he's going to look at him like, no, I don't know what to do. Should I start wrestling? Then his coach is going to be like, all right, start wrestling. So then second round, he's going to come out, shoot a takedown on me. I'm going to sprawl. Then I'm going to look at him and I'm going to laugh. Then I'm going to look at DC and do the Max Holloway. I'm the best boxer in the UFC. Then I'm going to hit him with a couple more hands. And then he's not going to know what to do again. So he's going to shoot another single leg. I'm going to turn, throw him off the fence, hit him with a body shot. He's going to drop. I'm going to look at him, point to him, tell him to stand up again. The ref's gonna tell me like, yo, we need action here. Then I'm gonna feint the jab to the body and go overhand, and then he's gonna drop.
Belal Muhammad further declared that Jack Della Maddalena won't be able to keep up with his boxing. He said he's the best striker, grappler, wrestler, and overall fighter in the welterweight division. Belal pointed to his dominant performance against Leon Edwards, who had knocked out Kamaru Usman, as proof of his level. He vowed to make it look easy again on May 10th. Belal said people keep doubting him, but he continues to break barriers and prove them wrong. He warns that Jack is stepping out of the kiddie pool and into the deep end, and it's going to be a bad night for him.
Will I be able to be standing? No. Will he be able to be keeping up with my boxing? I have the best striker in the welterweight division. I'm the best grappler. I'm the best wrestler. I'm the best fighter. You've seen it. Leon Edwards, he was the next one up. He was the GOAT. He knocked out Kamaru Usman, and I made it look easy. I'm going to make it look easy May 10th. People are just going to keep doubting me, and I'm just going to keep breaking those barriers. I'm going to keep showing you guys I'm the best fighter in the world. He's coming out of the kiddie pool, and he's going straight into the deep end of the ocean. This is going to be a bad night for him, and you guys are going to see it May 10th.
Meanwhile, the backup fighter of this fight, Ian Gary, predicted that Belal Muhammad will win against Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 315. He said every minute that passes favors Belal because of his relentless pressure and grinding style. Gary described Belal as a workhorse who makes fights ugly, stays in his opponent's face, and constantly applies pressure. He noted that he's seen Jack get ragdolled by fighters not as good as Belal, who he considers one of the best at that style. Gary believes Belal will get the finish in the later rounds, around the third or fourth, if Jack can survive that long.
Could I get a quick 315 prediction, Belal versus JDM?
Every minute that goes by, it puts Belal in a better position because he just is a workhorse. He's a grinder. He will grab a hold of you. He will be in your grill. He will make it ugly. He will slam you. He will just constantly be there. And I've watched Jack get ragdolled by people that aren't as good as Belal. And Belal is one of the best in the world at playing the game Belal does. And I think stylistically he gets his hand raised. And I think he gets a finish in the later rounds. I think if Jack can survive till 3 or 4, I think that's when the finish will come.
Kamaru Usman believes Jack Della Maddalena will eventually fight for the UFC welterweight title. When Henry Cejudo asked if he truly thought Jack had a chance against a well-rounded fighter, Usman said yes, absolutely. He explained that Jack is very calm in the cage, which makes it hard for him to break or get discouraged. Usman pointed out that some fighters keep getting up no matter how many times you take them down, and as a wrestler, he knows how frustrating that can be. He sees that same determination in Jack.
Jack Della Maddalena is going to be fighting for the UFC welterweight title.
Do you really give JDM a shot against a guy that mixes his fighting?
I do. I absolutely do. He's so relaxed to where it's very, very hard to beat him, to discourage him from trying. There are some guys to where you can take down 50 million times, they're still going to keep trying to get up. And as wrestlers, we know how annoying that is.
Kamaru Usman said the keys to victory for Jack Della Maddalena are mixing up his attacks and staying aggressive. He clarified that he doesn't mean going for takedowns, but rather mixing up his strikes while moving forward. Usman highlighted how relaxed Jack is under pressure, saying that helps him stay sharp during tough moments. He pointed to the Gilbert Burns fight as an example. Burns was winning with takedowns and control, but Jack kept fighting. Every time he got back up, he landed shots and kept trying to turn the fight in his favor.
Keys to victory for a guy like JDM.
He's just got to mix it up. When I say mix it up, I don't mean shooting him for takedowns. I mean, he's got to go forward and he's got to mix up his strikes. That's the one thing that I like about this guy. He's so relaxed. He sees the pressure come, he's able to sidestep or just kind of relax in there. In fights like the Gilbert Burns fight, Gilbert was winning that fight. Gilbert was taking him down, controlling him, but he never stopped trying. When he got up to his feet, he was able to land certain things to try to make him pay.
Carlos Prates picked Belal Muhammad to beat Jack Della Maddalena and doesn't think it will be a tough fight for Belal. He said the matchup is a good one, but in his view, Belal will win. Carlos acknowledged that Jack is a good fighter, but pointed out that Jack's biggest win was a close decision against Kevin Holland. He also mentioned that Jack fought another opponent who is no longer in the UFC and then faced Gilbert Burns. Carlos noted that Jack was losing to Burns before managing to win in the final minute. While he gave Jack credit, he clearly sees Belal as the stronger overall fighter.
Well, the fight is really good, you know. The fighting is really good, but I think Belal gonna win, you know. The Jack Della Maddalena looks a good fighter, but he fought like Kevin Holland, like really good guys, you know, on the rank. He fought one time Kevin Holland and he won by split decision, and then he fought another guy, I don't remember the name. He even is not anymore in UFC.
Yeah.
And then he fought Gilbert Burns, and he was lost in the fight, you know, and on the last minute he won the fight. Okay, it's good.
Carlos Prates said that Jack Della Maddalena's only real standout win was against Gilbert Burns. In contrast, he pointed out that Belal Muhammad has been consistently beating top-level opponents. While Carlos admitted he would like to see Jack as champion because of his striking style, he still believes Belal will win and that it won't be a hard fight for him.
His good wins against Gilbert Burns, you know,
yeah.
And Belal Muhammad have been beating a lot of guys really good, so I don't know. I would like to see Jack Della Maddalena as a champ because he's striker, you know.
Yeah.
And things like that, but I think Belal Muhammad gonna win. Like, it's not gonna be a hard fight.
However, Leon Edwards gave a hesitant opinion when asked if Jack Della Maddalena would beat Belal Muhammad. At first, he said he wasn't sure and mentioned he was coaching that day, so he hadn't thought much about it. However, when pressed on who he would bet on, Leon admitted he'd probably lean toward Jack Della Maddalena. Still, he kept going back and forth, saying he wasn't completely confident and ultimately concluded that it was a tough call.
Do you think he beats JDM?
I don't know. I've conversated today with my coach, and I don't know. If I had to put money on it, I'd probably favor JDM.
Oh yeah.
If I had to put money on it, yeah. If I had to put money on it, I feel like I don't know. Actually, I don't know. 50-50. I'm putting money on none of them. I don't know.
Leon Edwards said that Jack Della Maddalena always seems to find a way to win. He pointed out that Belal Muhammad hadn't fought in a long time, which could be a factor. Leon believes JDM's boxing might shut Belal down, especially since JDM is a good anti-grappler. While it may not be easy to take him down, Leon thinks JDM scrambles well on the ground and likely won't be held down for too long. Based on that, Leon said if he had to put money on it, he would probably bet on JDM.
And JDM hasn't fought in so long.
But I feel like JDM his boxing will probably shut him down. And he's a good anti-grappler, JDM. You know, like he's to take him down, but his scrambles on the floor is good.
Okay.
You know, I feel like Belal won't be enough to hold him down for that long. You know, so if maybe JDM, if I had to put money on it, probably.
Welterweight fighter Jeff Neal said he thinks Belal Muhammad has Jack Della Maddalena's number. He pointed out that Jack has shown signs of gassing out in fights and making them harder than they should be. Neal believes Jack won't be able to get away with that against Belal, who he feels will smother Jack for 5 rounds.
Yeah, I think Belal's got his number. I mean, it depends on, like, because I've seen Jack, like, gas out and, you know what I mean, like, make fights that he should be winning, like, significantly harder, but he's not going to be able to get away with that with Belal. I feel like Belal's just going to smother him for 5 rounds.
Eddie Cha called the matchup a tough one, but expressed his love for Jack Della Maddalena. He praised Jack's boxing and striking as phenomenal, but ultimately gave a slight edge to Belal Muhammad, believing he's the better overall fighter in MMA.
That's a tough one. I love Jack Della Maddalena's boxing, his striking is phenomenal, but Belal, I think, he's better overall in MMA, but slight edge to Belal maybe.
The UFC welterweight fighter Austin Vanderford said he believes Belal Muhammad will get the job done against Jack Della Maddalena. He acknowledged that JDM has great boxing and is a solid all-around fighter, but praised Belal for his relentlessness. Vanderford noted that although Belal often gets criticized for his fighting style, he works hard, puts opponents in tough positions, and never stops coming forward. He predicted that even if Jack stuffs the first few takedowns, Belal will keep pressing and eventually drown him with pressure.
I think Belal gets it done. JDM, great boxing, good overall fighter. But I think Belal goes out. You know, he gets a lot of hate by his fight style and stuff, but you can't deny how relentless he is and goes and works hard and puts you in tough positions. So I see that happening in this fight too. I think he, you know, might get stuffed on the first takedown, maybe the second, but he's just going to keep coming. I think he ends up kind of drowning.
Elijah Smith said he's picking Belal Muhammad due to his constant pressure and improved striking. He mentioned that in Belal's fight against Leon Edwards, he felt Belal was actually getting the better of the exchanges on the feet. Smith also compared Belal's relentless style to Khabib Nurmagomedov, saying that kind of pressure is difficult to deal with. While people praise Jack Della Maddalena for defending against Gilbert Burns' jiu-jitsu, Smith believes Belal's drive and pace will be even harder for Jack to handle.
I think Belal. Yeah. I think Belal, his ongoing pressure, and truth be told, I mean, not even truth be told, but I do feel like Belal's striking has gotten a lot better. Like when he was when he fought Leon Edwards, I thought he was getting the better of Leon on the feet. So yeah, I feel like he goes out there and does the same thing, and he has that more. You know, I think people talk about like Jack Della Maddalena fight with Gilbert. What's his name? Gilbert Burns, and they talk about the jiu-jitsu and how he was able to stop the jiu-jitsu and get back up to his feet. I just think Belal has more of that drive where it's like kind of like Khabib-esque, which is kind of harder to deal with. On
the other hand, after this fight, Belal Muhammad is also looking to move up to the middleweight division and fight Khamzat Chimaev. Belal Muhammad said that when Khamzat Chimaev was still competing at 170 pounds, he was one of the opponents Belal had always wanted to face. He explained that he's always looking for the toughest challenges and best matchups, and he believes his style matches up well against someone like Khamzat. Belal also predicted that Khamzat will walk through Dricus du Plessis and become champion whenever they eventually fight.
Khamzat when he was 170, like I was one of those fights that I was always looking for, right? I'm always looking for the toughest challenge, the best fight. And especially for him, stylistically, I think I match up very well with him and a guy like him. And I do think he will walk through Duplessis and he will be the champion whenever they do fight.
Belal Muhammad said the key to beating Khamzat Chimaev is surviving his explosive start. He described Khamzat as coming out like a missile in the first round, which overwhelms many opponents. Belal believes the strategy is to weather that early storm, push the fight into the later rounds, and then start increasing the pressure to drown Khamzat in the 4th and 5th rounds to test his endurance and composure.
What do you think is the key to beating him?
He goes so hard in that first round, and he comes out like a freaking missile. So it's like, all right, we got to weather this storm. We got to get through it. And it's a lot of guys that can't get through it. It's hard. But for me, it's just taking him to the later rounds. And then you start picking it up in the later rounds, start drowning him in the later rounds. And then we see where he's at in the 4th and 5th round.
Khamzat Chimaev is also aware that Belal wants to fight him, and recently he took a dig at him by calling him a pony. He shared a picture of a pony, a kind of horse known for their very small size. Mentioning Belal Muhammad, Khamzat wrote on his X account, "Bully be 170, where are you going, pony?" In response, Belal said that he is coming to the middleweight division. He also shared a picture of himself wearing a t-shirt with his matchup with Khamzat Chimaev printed on it. Belal Muhammad stated, "Going to middleweight." So as UFC 315 draws near, the intensity between Belal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena is boiling over. With both men dialed in and legends weighing in, the welterweight division is about to witness a defining moment. Whether it's Belal's relentless grind or Jack's laser-sharp striking, this is a clash that could reshape the future of the weight class.